What's up guys, Kelly McKay here, aka HVAC Millionaire, right here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment below. This week we're talking about one of the most important, could be the most important success principle that we have to learn how to deal with in order to move forward in our businesses or in our HVAC careers. And this is a big one. Glad to see you guys here. Be sure to check out my other YouTube channel called Nth Zone HVAC. There's some really awesome, valuable information on there. Just go to nthzonehvac.com, or I'm sorry, just Nth Zone HVAC right here on YouTube. Okay, so I want to talk about the 4 things that we should not do when it comes to receiving feedback. Feedback is a critical component of our success, because if we don't have any feedback, then we don't know what's working or what's not working and what we should change or not change. So when we're talking about feedback, we're talking about, if you're a technician, well then feedback from your service manager or the manager of your company or the owner of the company. We're talking about feedback from customers. We're talking about feedback from home, like feedback from your spouse or your significant other. Feedback from, there's all kinds of feedback that's constantly being given. And if we ignore that feedback, then we can't act surprised when something bad happens, like we lose our job because we're not producing, or we get home and our spouse is gone when they've been giving feedback, and been complaining about something that they wanted you to change, or whatever the case. If we ignore that feedback, or yellow alerts, as we like to call them, then you're going to have a bad day, right? It's going to have an outcome that you don't necessarily want. So we have to pay attention to feedback, and that feedback is actually a gift. And if we take that as a gift, then we can course correct and make things better. And so today I'm talking about the 4 things that people normally do when it comes to receiving feedback. So the first thing, for one, if I take action, so if I'm standing here, in order to receive some feedback, the first thing I have to do is take some action. And so that's number one, what we're talking about, is if you're not receiving feedback, you might not be taking any action. So you have to take action to receive feedback. So that's the first lesson that we have to make sure to do if we're going to get some feedback and course correct and actually wind up where we want to wind up successfully. So the second thing that people do is, they actually do start taking some steps forward and moving forward, but then it gets hard and harder and harder. And so it's too hard, I can't do it. And they give up. So that's the second thing you want to avoid if you're trying to be successful, no matter what you're doing. So the third thing that doesn't work when it comes to feedback is we're moving along and people are giving us feedback and it's not what we want to hear, right? If it's not the kind of feedback that we want to hear, then we can't turn around and say, "What are you doing? You always complain. All you do is complain. I work so hard and do everything I can for you and blah, blah, blah," right? So we cannot respond to feedback with anger if it's not the feedback that we like to hear. Now, I'm not saying that all feedback is correct. You're going to get some false feedback once in a while. But if it continues to happen over and over again and you keep ignoring it, though, that feedback is providing yellow alerts for you to make a change for the better. Something that's going to help you get further, faster, farther. So the 4th thing that we see, that I've seen happen in my company when somebody provides feedback, is they're sitting here moving along. You provide feedback, their coworkers provide feedback, maybe their spouse provides feedback, and they just cover their ears. And they just pretend not to hear. And they just ignore. Well, that's what you don't want to do. This is feedback to help you change, to be a better person, to provide a better service, to improve the quality of your relationships. Could be improve your bank account. So these are 4 things that happens all the time because people don't like receiving feedback if it's not exactly what they want to hear. And if you can't accept that feedback, then nothing's going to change. You're going to live a miserable life. So that's my lesson today. Feedback. Look at it as a gift. Take it in, assess it, and make a change or don't make a change. That's your decision. But if you continue to get the same feedback and you don't change, then you're probably heading in the direction that you don't want to go. That's all I got for you guys. Love you guys. Go make money. Boom. There's some free training below. Check it out.